In my experience as a youth minister for over 14 years, I found out 4 things that always killed my fire. Number 1, it was offense. Anytime I got offended at somebody, I lost my fire. People leave the churches because of offense. Actually, 99% of people that leave the churches today leave because of offense. And for those of us who think, yeah, it's about church, do something and change so that people stop leaving the church because of offense. Actually, in one meeting, Jesus had 75 of His key leaders leave Him. If you think that if the church will get perfect, less people will leave the church because of offense. If the church will get perfect, more people will leave because of the offense, because they could not live up to that perfectionism. Offense is unavoidable. We can only stop causing offenses, but we cannot ever stop having offenses. You will be offended. And offense is the devil's trap to cause your fire to die out. It's just the devil's trap. That's all it is. If you look today, somebody offended you, tomorrow you're gonna unknowingly, you're gonna offend somebody, and it's the devil's trap to kill your fire. That's all it is. The second thing that I've seen in my ministry and personally in my life, or what kills the fire, is disappointment. It's when you dream, you believe, you fast, you pray, and it doesn't happen. You prayed for somebody who wanted, you believed that they're going to be healed. You had a word from God. You knew it and nothing happened. And next thing that happened is that becomes like a water that goes on your fire. And it's very important. I want you to see this. When you get offended, honestly, Jesus doesn't really go after you and tries to butter you up. When the guys got offended, Jesus didn't go after them and say, hey guys, let me explain. I didn't mean you to eat my flesh. I meant communion. Jesus didn't do that. But when guys left Jerusalem, walked to city of Emmaus, He walked beside them, encouraged them with scriptures until their hearts got on fire again. Anytime you're disappointment, Jesus will walk behind you and remind you of His word, so your heart will catch fire again. And the third thing that kills our fire is honestly busyness. It's when we become so busy that we don't have time to spend time with the Lord. We don't have time to even make it to church. And please understand, intimacy makes you fruitful, not busy. Busyness can be a result of intimacy, but busyness itself does not make you successful. Only intimacy with God makes you successful. If you are too busy to pray, you are too busy. If you are too busy to be with God, you are too busy. And this is what I know about busy people. You actually don't make more money. You make less. Because you break God's rule. God ordered for us to rest on Saturday. If you say, but I'm going to work 3 jobs, 4 jobs, and mark this, you will not make more money. Because God blesses order and you are out of order. God blesses order, not out of order. I mentioned how Chick-fil-A decided not to open its fast food restaurant chain on Sundays, and people said, did you know that on Sundays all the fast food restaurants make the most money? And the main guy of Chick-fil-A, he says, I know, but God said and people should take a rest at least one day, and he says, and I'm gonna choose the most busiest day to rest. Average fast food restaurant makes $1 million a year. Chick-fil-A makes 5. Why? Because when you, but it doesn't make sense. Nothing with God makes sense. But when you follow the order, God blesses you. Same thing, when you give, it seems like but you're gonna lose money and somehow you have enough. When you hold on to that, it seems like it's never enough. Business is good if it comes out of your fruitfulness and it doesn't affect your intimacy with God. But the moment you see your fire is dying out, your fire is dying out, cut back on some things. Catch your breath. Relax. You're still gonna die. Why work so hard that you waste you ruin your health to get more money, and then you spend your money to get your health back? Why don't you just keep both at the same time? Because this is not just about relationship with God. This is about your health being. This is about your kids, knowing who you are. This is about your family. This is about your spouse. This is about everyone, everything being intact. And the last one is materialism. Materialism is not when you have stuff. It's when the stuff has you. I have this Apple Watch. I have this watch. this watch doesn't have me. Because at any moment, this watch can be yours. Not today. The most freeing thing for my relationship with God has been is when I can hold things without holding on to them. When God has the right to take anything out of my hand, and I have the privilege to take anything out of His pocket.